16-year-old Preston Lord went to a Halloween party in Queen Creek over the weekend. The next day, he died. Now police need your help figuring out what happened. Here's what we know so far. Between 100 and 200 people were at that party and adults were inside the home. Cops were called out for a disturbance around 9 o'clock. They say when they got there, a number of teens were leaving, but since they didn't see anything illegal, they left. 40 minutes later, they received a call about Preston lying in the road. He later died at the hospital. His family says from a severe brain injury. Joining me now for a legal deep dive into this case is criminal defense attorney Hector Diaz of Diaz Law. This is so sad in so many ways. This is now a homicide investigation. So if they find the people or the person who allegedly did this, what kind of charges could they face?
You know, even if they're, say, juveniles, that it sounds like this was a juvenile party, right, with a lot of teenagers. You know, even though they're minors, I mean, they still may be looking at homicide charges, negligent homicide, manslaughter. You know, this young man died. He went to a party on Halloween, and, you know, I'm sure his family is just absolutely besides themselves. But, you know, these are serious charges that would be brought by the county attorney's office.
Could they be charged as an adult?
That's a great question. You know, again, we don't know enough about who the suspect is, but let's say he's 17, right? 18 for sure, for sure.
Oh,
you know, and the law allows for certain types of offenses, very serious offenses like murder, that a person could be charged as an adult even though they're a minor.
Now, a lot of things have been circulating on social media. And so, you know, there's also this fear of retaliation. And so this is what's making it very difficult for investigators. So I'm wondering, let's just say, you know, my 17-year-old son saw who did it. What should they do in case they're afraid to come forward?
You know, really quick here, that's kind of like a two-part issue here. On one side, you know, if they're concerned about being threatened by another student or another person saying, if you come forward, you know, that's actually punishable. That's hindering a criminal investigation. That in itself could be a whole separate issue.
Wow.
If they have concerns, say the witness has concerns about coming forward because they're concerned individually, maybe I don't want to be wrapped up and be maybe considered a part of this, you know, there's always the ability to go through and hire counsel. Counsel can then facilitate a discussion with law enforcement, and there's that ability to kind of vet out if there is some kind of issue here. That is there exposure for this witness? Again, you know, really dependent on the facts.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously, police are still investigating and trying to find out who is responsible for his death.